Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Moving Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. It's the podcast where we watch The Muppet Christmas Carol 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Anthony Strand.
And I'm your other host, Ryan Rowe.
And joining us today, we have a very special guest indeed. She was with us last year for Muppets Take Manhattan, and she's back. Who is it? Who are you, guest?
I'm Leslie Carrara-Rudolph, and I'm excited to be here to obsess over the Muppet Christmas Carol 2 minutes at a time with you. I had such a great time last time, so I'm excited.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a
so
Muppet
glad.
performer. I thank you, my Abby. This is it's past my bedtime here when we're recording this, so you maybe want to go over there and take Tango. We're dog sitting Tango for Elmo. Apparently, those are my two females.
Yeah, we got a twofer.
Yeah,
That's great.
a puppy and a fairy. And you know what? I am an actual puppy fairy. I think that's funny.
That's an accurate description, I think.
I am.
There you go.
I'm definitely.
What a thrill.
Yes,
What a thrill.
and I have an upcoming excitement, but I don't know if I haven't even told anybody. So, I could
It's
tell.
good.
I haven't really announced it, or people I kind of posted about the new Muppets Mayhem that's coming out. I'm excited about it, but I don't know when it's coming out. None of us do. So
Right.
That's an
Maybe we'll know by the time
teaser.
this comes out.
Yes.
Who knows?
We'll see.
I have no idea.
So I have to imagine that the tease is that you're returning to your iconic role as Bill the Bubble Guy's mom.
Thanks for remembering that. No.
Sure.
No.
Oh, okay.
This has never been seen before.
Oh, great.
That's all I can
Can't
say.
wait.
Nice. Yeah.
How exciting.
Intriguing.
And also exciting is minutes 27 and 28 of Muppet Christmas Carol. In these minutes, Jacob and Robert Marley sing their hit song, Marley and Marley. And that's pretty much it. So, as we discussed last week, we start with Scrooge finishing the more of gravy than of grave line from the book, which we talked about last week a little bit, but then what we didn't get into is that the Marleys then mock him. Statler calls, I guess, should I call him Statler or should I call him Jacob?
This
Do
is
we want to have a policy on this?
the puzzle of this whole season is, do we refer to these characters by their Muppet names or their Christmas Carol names? I think I usually switch back and forth.
I think you have to, because it's Marley and Marley.
That's true.
Right. Well,
Because they split one boss into two characters, right? Because in the original, it's just Jacob Marley.
Yes.
So it's Marley and Marley. It's the Marley brothers. It's like from Trading Places, right?
It's just like
Remember
it. Right.
the
That's
two
true.
guys in Trading Places?
I do.
Right?
Don Amici and Ralph Bellamy, yeah.
So you could say Statler Marley and Waldorf Marley.
Right.
You know.
Sure.
Mhm.
Right. So Statler Marley says, "What a terrible pun!" And as we discussed, that's straight out of the book. That's written by Charles Dickens. So that's actually just Statler and Waldorf heckling Charles Dickens, which rules.
What you're not saying what a terrible pun is in the book.
No, I'm saying more of gravy than of grave is in the book.
Right. Okay.
And by them calling it a terrible pun, they're not heckling Scrooge. They are heckling Charles Dickens.
Right. Yes, they're mocking.
They're heckling the actual book.
19th century author Charles Dickens.
Yeah. It's great.
Yes, but what I wanted to point that you brought up that line, because I was always like, when I'm watching it, I thought, well, I'm going to watch it from a character base thing. And I picked up on that. And Scrooge says, "You're always criticizing me."
Yeah.
Right? He gets defensive. He goes, we're not criticizing you. You're heckling. And like that, he felt bullied. You know, he took everything personal. So the fact that they were just having they thought it was hilarious, and he felt criticized and had to measure up to them. So he was immediately on the defense. And then that's where he says, "Leave comedy to the bears."
Right.
Which I love, like, leave the comedy to the bears, which is a total inside nod to us fans, because who else would say, like, bears? Like, what did he just say, leave comedy? But we all know it's Fozzie.
Right.
We all know it's Fozzie.
So it's just like they're letting us know that we're playing this part in this movie. In this movie, it's just like there's layers. Okay, so you could say they're heckling, the writing, the line, but they're hecklers. that's what they do. So we're not, we're not criticizing, we're heckling. It's like, that's not our job. Our job is the hecklers. And by the way, leave comedy to the bears. So it's just like.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe more than Kermit even. They're operating both as the fictional characters from the book and as themselves. Whereas Kermit is pretty much just Bob Cratchit so far.
Right.
But they're also being Statler and Waldorf.
Right. Although, as I think you were just about to say, Ryan, later on in the movie, we will find out that they worked for Fozziwig.
Yes, or at least they knew him well enough to be invited to his Christmas party.
To be at his Christmas party, right.
Yeah.
So they do know the comedy bear.
But I don't think that when they say leave comedy to the bears, they're thinking leave comedy to Fozziwig.
No, I don't think.
Although, I mean, he's doing jokes at the Christmas party. I mean, they heckle him. They heckle him at the party.
But I don't think anyone has ever watched this for the first time and been like, "Oh, they knew Fozziwig. Right. That's why they said that."
Right. So that explains it.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, you're right. Of course. But yeah, the other thing I was going to say about Scrooge here is when he says, "Don't criticize me," it's like pleading. He's just like politely asking them to stop. And then the anger builds up in him and he says, "You always criticized me." And that's it's so natural. It's like that thing where when you're mad in real life and you're trying not to be and you're trying to be polite and then it just like busts out anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
and Michael Caine plays it so well.
He's because he's such a brilliant actor, and no matter what's going on around him, his intention and his truths. He is bullied by these guys, and he has become the bully to Cratchit, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of depth in writing in the scene. Like I wrote down some of the, the bullying things where the lyrics are, I think, is this where we're talking about the lyrics? Like I took notes on both of the two pieces, but I remember, let me see, say their POV criticizing, causing fear and doubt. I think this is in it. Where's
that's in this one.
I took on, where they in the lyrics where it's causing fear and doubt. Freedom comes from giving love, prison comes from hate. And like I was thinking, and I was also looking at the choreography and stuff, and I was thinking all that. But I think that the lyrics in those are this is what comes from. Your chains are webbed by fear and doubt and all this horrible, all this negative stuff,
Right. Yeah.
And prison comes with hate. So hate is like a way that you chain yourself to sadness and remorse. And I think for Scrooge, like for him, it's like, I think he's such a brilliant actor. He always is. And he used to do acting classes and, he even had like a tutorial, like finding your angles and stuff and playing the angles and just the way it's shot. One thing that I want to, if we have a moment to bring up the shot, is that what I noticed in this scene is the way that the death and the coldness, they're in black and white, right? And it's overlaid, and Scrooge is in the warmth, right? So it comes from the cold of death, and they're in the same. And I I was looking at the puppetry, and I was thinking to myself, is that in real time? Is that shot differently? Is he acting with them in real time? And when I watched the two back to back, and you can see it. Sometimes it looks like, oh, maybe this is an overlay and he's acting. This was filmed separately, but there's a part where you can see on the screen where it's black and white, but in the bottom corner you can see that it's not black and white. Like part of Jacob Marley is part of one of the Marleys is in the warm tones. So you have those two, and I was thinking, well, is that done in camera? Because it's kind of translucent.
Yeah.
So I just like the themes that they have here, where he's backed up against, a wall. He's standing back up against a wall with the clock right there. Your time is running out.
Oh, yeah,
he's there. He's small. It's very noir, right? And then there in the foreground, they're all in black and white. They're chained. They're this, and I found out. I thought it was Jane Goodnick. I was like, well, I'm going to call and ask, because Ryan says we're going to ask you the puppetry stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
No, and that's so cool that you can just like pick up the phone and call Jane Goodnick.
Yeah. Well, Jane also worked on Muppets Mayhem, and she was part of my support system and team and in the character. But
and I'm sure everyone has deduced by now, but just in case, she's one of the puppet builders for the Muppets.
Yes, but she did not work on this film. She was working on she worked on all of them except for this one. She told me, because she was working on dinosaurs.
Sure.
So Peter McKennan. Oh gosh, Peter, please forgive me for saying it. McKennan. I always think it's the McKennan. He worked on this. Okay. And one of my questions was, was it filmed separately, because it's definitely a different, one. They are in black and white, and he is not. It's not a lighting trick. They're full on black and white.
Right, they're completely pale.
White. Right. So, and a lot of times, if you do your own editing, there's filters. Just now in Ready Video Shop, you can choose, black and white. You can choose noir. You can do the tint, so it could be an in-camera thing. It could be, translucent. But then I was thinking, is this, was this green screen? Was it blue screen? Was it check black theater where, everyone's in black? All the puppeteers are black and shrouded, and they're just out, and the lights shine stark in front of them. Were they built in black and white? Was it but it was, they were in blue. It was blue screen, and he was acting in real time, which is great. So, like a lot of things in today's world, so he was reacting to them in real time.
So they were acting together in the same studio space.
In the same space.
Yeah.
But yet they had to have somehow split it and staged it in the way, because they remained black and white while he was in the sepia tones and the warm tones.
Right.
Because it can't be all or nothing.
Right. Does that mean that these are not Statler and Waldorf puppets that are made up to be all white? Were they just regular Statler and Waldorf?
That is a good question. I can ask Peter that, but I honestly think, but if you look at it in the corner, I think it's done in camera. I can ask him right now.
I've always assumed that either these puppets were built especially for this scene, or they were regular Statler and Waldorf puppets who had been I don't know, they took a powder puff to them.
Dusted.
Make them all white.
Yeah.
But I realize that's just an assumption. I don't think I've ever seen anything to back that up.
Yeah, because if you look at the film, I'm asking, were the puppets built in black and white?
Thank you so much. That's
or was it?
It's so exciting. You're just going to.
Well, here's where my these were my questions to Peter. Hi, Leslie, got your call, but got your message. What's your Christmas Carol question? Maybe I can answer it in text if I know the answer. It's about the scene with Marley and Marley that filmed black box style, where everybody was in black, and it was it filmed like green screen or blue screen, but everybody was it overlaid in the film in camera effects to make it look more black and white and translucent? Not sure if that's clear. Did Scrooge act with the puppets in real time? He goes, oh boy, I wish I could remember. I want to say that it was blue screen for Marley and Marley. Scrooge did interact with the puppets in real time. Thank you. That's good to know. And I just asked, were the puppets built in black and white, or was it in camera illusion?
Wow.
But I really like is the writing in this. I want to put out how this, noir is one of my favorite things, and a lot of things, Brian directed this, and that had to be a lot because this was the first film that he directed.
It's really amazing that this was his first one.
Yeah, I just, there's a lot. There's so many moments. There's so many tender moments. But I just I felt first of all, there's in the choreography where there's presentational, and I just that they worked on that move, Marley and Marley, and I'm just laughing because that you have a puppeteer that's doing this. The other ones are doing wow, you should probably take both hands, and then you have a puppeteer on the feet. So
because we see their whole bodies dancing around, and then I think it's one of the things you're.
But then you have the other puppeteers. There's probably I'm just guessing that when you have things in tandem, when you do, a puppet, you're in charge of the left hand and someone does your right hand. That's why they say, who do you want you to be your assist, or who do you want to right hand you or left hand you, depending on what it is. And then they have two people on the legs, right? But then they have these
one
chains.
Person on each leg for the dancing?
Usually you do one person
for both legs.
2 legs. Yeah, okay, they do both legs. You're doing this, right? And then probably if they're oh, I think you should do both hands, because we're going to do choreography.
Right. It's
and I'm going to take the hand when I'm acting. I'm going to take the hand when I'm acting, and then you grab it when we do the choreography. But then you have the chains, right? And there's that lyric, prison comes with hate, and the chains go boom. So the chains are also puppeteered. They get dropped down.
Oh, sure. All the chains that sort of fly in and the lock boxes.
And they present chains come in that represents the prison.
Yes.
And then I was trying to, I think I took a picture on the screenshot because I was trying to figure, then you have these boxes. I was trying to figure out what those were.
I guess those are, they're supposed to be lock boxes
they're lock
put
boxes,
money in.
right? Chained up money.
Yeah, cash boxes. Yeah,
just another illustration of how they're brought down by their greed.
By their greed and money. So you have those two. So you have think about. So you probably have 3 puppeteers at the very least on 2 of those. Then you have up above, dropped in real time.
Somebody rattling the chains. Yeah.
Right. Everything's in real time. Right. So 3. So maybe there's 2 people up there doing that. So 2 people on chains. So that's 6, 7, 8, and then you have the puppeteers that come behind, right? 1, 2, I think 4, 5. Let's say 5 lock boxes, 8, 9, 10, and then maybe you have a chain wrangler. So there is a boatload of puppeteers working together to make that come to life,
and all just crammed into that space so they can all fit in the shot at the same time.
Right, and then you have, then there's the camera shot. There's the shot on, Scrooge. He's fine, and then he's acting in real time. So imagine, okay, let's do that again, or So I can imagine how long that must have taken for everybody to be doing that. But I just love the timing of everything because it really is a dance. It's just poetic the way everything comes together, and it's really, really impressive because in today's world where everything's CG, we can put that in later. We'll put that in post.
Right. You could just shoot something separately.
That is teamwork at its best.
Yeah.
So when those, everybody's shaking and everybody's doing that. And you're so connected and keyed in to that moment. Mm. And I just love that. It's like watching, Monty Python, like the Holy Grail of that. So I love Controlled whenever chaos. It might be a short musical number, but I just love the fact, and I do just love the fact that he chose, this is cold, this is black and white. And then when they go away, the note goes, where they go, whoop, and then last note, like the stinger, is the fire going, whoop.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cold, freezing, death, despair, all that stuff, black and white, done. All the life has been sucked and drained out of you. Let's see if he responded. And then it comes back with the fire. So I just think that's a meaty little moment.
Oh, yeah. We've commented a few times on how this might just be the best looking of all the Muppet movies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's such a beautiful nod. And I love that they, the Scrooge. He's such a brilliant. That was brilliant casting.
Yeah.
Michael Caine. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Michael Caine, because he's 100% committed to it's his truth and his belief and his reality, and the fact that he's triggered by you were always criticizing me, you were always doing this and bullying me, and it's really, and plus the words are beautiful. What do I say? Acknowledging fear and doubt, causing fear and doubt. That's what's happening in the world today. That's what people do to bully other people, is fear and doubt and prey on insecurities and all those things. So
yeah, too much of that happening right now.
Yes. Sorry, I blabbed a lot on that one.
No, that was wonderful. That was why we wanted you on the show.
Yes.
Please. Yeah.
Did the kiss happen in this, or is that the second part?
That's the
I think
second
that's
one.
next time.
This
yeah.
is the second
Okay.
one. Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. I don't think we see we don't see Gonzo and Rizzo in this clip at all. In this first clip. It's all Statler and Waldorf and Scrooge.
Why did I say teddy bear shudder, look at the chains?
Oh, because they say I remember the little tykes all standing in the snowbanks with their little frostbitten teddy bears, and then they both laugh and then go, ugh.
That's intense.
They kind of shudder. It's very intense. And it's also, I think, crueler than anything that Marley and Scrooge do in the book. Like,
they don't talk about evicting an orphanage?
No, there's nothing like that. There's no like there's I mean, as we've discussed, the book doesn't have a lot of talk about the specifics of Scrooge business at all.
Yeah.
Like we don't see he doesn't throw a client out even or anything like that, But so there's certainly nothing about like, I mean, they say like Jacob Marley was ruthless, mankind was my business and all that he says, but he never says like, I threw orphans out into the snow. Like so that's Jerry Jewell inventing it, and it's so brutal.
It is. Although
I'm telling you, the lyrics of this song are just crushing.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it could be Paul Williams who invented that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know that Jerry wrote that.
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
Could be Paul. Yeah.
Although the reference to teddy bears is also historically inaccurate because
they were not invented.
Teddy bears got that name. They were named after President Theodore Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt. That's right.
He refused to shoot a bear on a hunting trip in 1902, which was a few decades after this story takes place. So they would not have called them teddy bears at this time.
Well,
everything else is historically accurate.
Terrible. That totally took me out of the moment.
Right. Everything else in this movie is historically accurate. All the talking vegetables, that is all real.
Yep, that all happened.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though about you were mentioning the lyrics, Leslie. As far as I can tell, the only line in the song that is straight out of the book is the full line in the song is "captive bound, double ironed, exhausted by the weight." But in the book, Marley does describe himself as captive, bound, and double ironed to Scrooge. So those 4 words in a row appear in the book in a row.
Huh. Nice.
But that's as far as I know, that's the only one. Yeah, as far as I could tell.
Jeez.
I noticed for the first time that Statler and Waldorf, so each of them has a shackle on each wrist. Mm-hmm. And I just noticed that each shackle has 2 chains coming down off of it, not to be confused with the hip hop artist 2 Chainz. But they each have 2 chains on each wrist. And that got me wondering if one of the chains is just like loose and hanging there, and the other one could possibly be stiff, and that's what they're using as an arm rod for each hand.
Oh, good call.
Just a theory, but I had never noticed the 2 different chains before.
Wow, good theory. Well, and I also too think like, unless they painted out, unless it was fancy and they painted out.
Well, yeah, I really have no idea.
There's that too.
Yeah.
But I also, do they both move?
I couldn't tell for sure.
Yeah. I also feel like things that, those little nuances that add a little extra life and weight to the scene. So, extra movement you know, so it's like, you know, when you have a puppet that has something, more than one thing hanging off of it, it's way more interesting.
It's more visually interesting.
Yeah, so it's maybe, you know, but I don't know. It's an extra movement that comes without having to puppeteer it, you know?
Right.
Oh, sure. So, yeah.
Right. Without having another one. Yeah, that's a really good observation. I hadn't even noticed that. I was just thinking like, gosh, there is a lot of puppets in this scene. There's a lot of puppeteers in this scene. And they are like all working together as a well-oiled machine, or they're going like, I'm sorry, I got you with my elbow. Like I stepped on your foot.
Yeah.
You know? But it is very impressive. It's amazing. And again, I just like the use of the lighting and the warmth versus the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's great.
And him just backed up against time. You know, the one clock just there and he's right next to it.
Yeah, that's a great observation.
Right. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is Statler and Waldorf themselves. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, or Leslie, if you know too. But I think this is the first time they had ever had an original song written for them.
Original song, yeah, as far as I know.
Because on the Muppet Show, they did Varsity Drag.
Yeah.
They did It Was a Very Good Year, Take 10 Terrific Girls.
Mm.
And then in Muppets at Walt Disney World, they sing Who's Your Lady Friend? And all of those are songs that are like older than Statler and Waldorf.
Right.
You know? And so I also think this is the only time they've ever had a song written for them.
Oh, it must be.
Like this is the first and only time. So it's just really interesting to me that they get this
both
big
had to take
number.
Voice lessons because, you know, they're cast in a musical.
Yeah.
You know, and they probably had to warm up before this. Well, you have the great Jerry Nelson, who has incredible pipes. You know?
Yeah, and as you discussed last time you were here, your friend and mentor, Jerry Nelson.
So yeah, I guess so. Well, it's a musical, so they were double cast.
Yeah,
maybe they were fighting over the role of Marley, you know, and
we'll just put two Marleys. Ended up with it.
Both play Marley.
Sure. Yeah, they can both do it.
Yeah, the Olsen twins are going to do it on Broadway, and no, I'm just kidding.
I would like to see that.
That's the return to acting. What if it was
my interaction with the Olsen twins, which I have an authentic one that has been mentioned on podcasts?
Yes,
before.
I don't know if is that on YouTube these days?
Gosh, it is.
When you played their babysitter in a direct-to-video
Mrs.
special.
Torres?
You were a human in this. This wasn't.
I was
wasn't a Sesame appearance.
in the Adventures of Mary Kate and Ashley in SeaWorld. Right. I was their babysitter, Mrs. Torres, and I improvised that entire scene.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, if I can find it on YouTube, I'll link to it on the show notes. Unless you don't want me to.
No, I mean it's somewhere out there.
It's very funny. I mean, it's.
They just said, we don't have the rights to the Wizard of Oz. Make up some other story. I'm like, oh, okay, you're on in 5. What?
Right.
And the camera's here. What? That's way too close.
That's showbiz. I was just going to say Jerry Nelson is so good as Statler, as the ghost of Marley here, because the voice that he's doing for Statler is just so like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it makes for a very intimidating ghost when he's singing the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying that Waldorf sounding like old Boober is not as intimidating? Is that what I'm hearing?
Quite as intimidating, maybe. I mean, it's still it's an excellent voice for Waldorf too.
That's perfect Waldorf voice. Yeah. I think to be clear, Dave Goelz is a genius. I'm not knocking him.
Yes, Dave Goelz is a genius. He's amazing. But I also think that Jerry has this timbre in his voice.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to describe.
He's like the Mystics. You know when the Mystics go ma and I'm gonna try, and it resonates in your chest. Like when Jerry's characters, they resonate in your chest. Like even being next to him, you know. And he was on my very first day of Sesame Street as when I was Abby. He was puppeteering. One of the last times he puppeteered the count before he was, you know, doing the voice live off side. He was there with me on the ground. But Jerry had he just has this timbre about his voice that not a lot of people have. And then when he speaks, it literally vibrates like a mystic in your chest.
Yeah.
You know, so it's one of those things that it is otherworldly, you know?
There you go. I'm glad you were able to describe it when I couldn't.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that it just reaches you in a way that not a lot of people can do.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Wow. So what else happened? I'm sorry. I'm just like so taken by that story. I don't even know how to proceed. Thank you so much for sharing that. So they get to the bridge. The last thing we hear in this clip is the bridge of the song. Doomed, Scrooge, you're doomed for all time. Your future is a horror story written by your crime. And then, like you said, Leslie, then the singing cash boxes show up. All these singing cash boxes show up to do, so have your fun when life is done, a nightmare waits for you. And that's where we end, is with the singing cash boxes.
And they go back.
Yeah, they finish the line of the song before this clip cuts off. That doesn't always happen on this podcast.
The clip actually cut off at the perfect time. A nightmare waits for you, and then it was done.
And then it's
that's actually next.
That's on the next one. The very end of this clip is a nightmare waits for you, and then it cuts. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
That's
I
okay.
watched them back.
That's okay. Everyone has already seen this movie before.
Yeah. No listener watched the clips. You know, But do you have any other thoughts? I mean, so you'll be back next week to talk about the rest. Anything else you want to talk about on this one before we close?
Yeah, because I was. I know what it was. I didn't know in the lyrics. I couldn't see if what is the last lyric? If it was changed or chained.
I think it's change. I think it's an.
I thought it was change.
They're telling him to change. Yeah, that's what I went.
Change, and I was like, I didn't know if they were going chained.
No, I went years not being sure if it was chains or change, but now having listened to it many times, I'm pretty sure it's change. CHANGE.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you cleared that up. So that was my thing. I talked about the black and white versus color, the two worlds, cold versus warm. I think that's it. Fire lit on the screen. In my mind, I was thinking the fire was solidifying the transition, but that was it.
All right. Ryan, anything else?
Yes, a couple things. I wanted to point out Statler and Waldorf's relative heights. So you mentioned the varsity drag number from the Muppet Show. I don't know if that was the only other time we had seen them standing up from head to toe before this. But it seems to me that on these two occasions, when we see their whole bodies, they're approximately the same height. But when they're illustrated in books and comic strips and stuff, and when they were made into action figures by Palisades and by Diamond Select, for some reason, Statler is depicted as being
twice as tall.
Yeah, much taller than Waldorf, way taller than Waldorf. And I don't know.
Wow.
There you go. You have the Diamond Selects right there. Mine are just slightly too far for me to reach them right now. But
yeah. That is you guys are nitpicky. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what we do. That's why we say we talk about the movie a lot.
He is definitely taller.
Yeah, definitely. And it is a common Muppet design.
These guys are definitely trading places. Come on. Definitely.
No, you're right. You're totally
Trading
right.
Places, a movie in which I believe Frank Oz and Richard Hunt both appear, right?
Yes.
Frank Oz and Richard Hunt, yeah. Yes.
And do you know that Paul and I watch that every year on New Year's Eve.
Oh, nice.
That is our New Year's Eve movie.
Yeah, that's a fun tradition.
It's Trading Places.
And of course, one of the other stars of the film is Dan Aykroyd, on whose sitcom Soul Man Big Bird guest starred.
That's true too. Yes.
You know why? Because I think Soul Man was filmed at Kaufman Astoria Studios.
I think I have heard
that. Makes
that.
Sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's probably the only reason. I think
they were in the front part of the studio, and then at the time Sesame Street was still on the bottom part. So I bet they said, we should ask.
Yeah, that's probably the only reason that happened.
Yeah,
sure. But yeah, there's this common design trend among Muppet duos where like Bunsen and Beaker, Bert and Ernie, where one is very vertical and one is more sort of rounded and horizontal. So I guess that's why illustrators tend to want to make Statler much taller, but it's always struck me as unusual or interesting.
But in this, are you saying they're similar heights?
Yeah,
but
to me, looking at them dancing next to each other on the screen in this, they seem to be about the same.
But they're floating.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it's not like there's no solid ground. They're like
right,
this.
Maybe Statler has bad posture when he dances. And if he stood up straight, maybe he would be way taller than Waldorf. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think that this doesn't apply because they're floating. There is no common, because we do that all the time. When we go, check your height. I'm not taller than Elmo. Abby's just a little bit under Elmo.
That's
Rudy's
such an
just
interesting...
a bit under me. And you get new people on. I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't be we always have to make sure everybody's in right heights and stuff. So
and that's such an interesting thing too that we don't usually think about. Like Rizzo should not be that high off the ground compared to Gonzo.
Yes, it's awful. That's the hard part. It is so hard. As Elmo's puppy, I mean, technically, I'm constantly levitating because Karen,
that's a great example.
Technically, I'm a reindeer. Tango is floating in every scene because there's no possible way that her legs are that long.
Right,
and it's very frustrating. Yeah. And if somebody shows her legs, I was like, you can't show that much of her legs because you've already. You have to really be conscious of,
Does the Tango puppet have all four legs just hanging down when you're performing her?
There's all four legs, but no, the back two legs. Are we talking about this on this podcast? Is this okay?
Oh, I
don't mind saying that, but I'm still learning her. But she's got each paw, and it's different for the setup, but she has ear mechs, so that are separate. So there's a mech for the right ear and the left ear, and it goes up and down at different rates. It goes forward and backward because she doesn't have any blinks, so it's like and we made a conscious decision not to make it Scooby-Doo. It's not like Rut-Row. It's like she can bark Grover. I think I did on special. I'm like, or that would be the most of it. Like,
the closest a dog could come.
But and so when I'm operating it, I usually put the mech onto the rod for me so I can use her paw or, to lift her paw at Elmo or, shake my ear. Then my assist has the other ear in tandem. Okay. If it's a dancing thing, like some of the things that we did dancing, someone would take both hands and paws. But we did a whole thing where I think it's almost like one of those digital things where you could just watch like a Yule log, but you can watch Tango. We did one of those things where you can watch Tango sleep and do all those things. But Marty decided that the best way to wag Elmo's tail, which is just a rod, just an arm rod, is to do this. You can't see this because this is not a visual podcast.
You're so rubbing your palms.
I'm rubbing my palms together like you would if you had a pen in your hand.
Yeah.
And the pen has a little to the tail, so the tail goes. So it is really, I'll just say drop the rod and really focus on the tail. This is all about the happy. So anyway, sorry, that was a side.
No, that's cool.
No, you know what? You got Leslie Carrara-Rudolph talking about playing Tango on Sesame Street.
I'm obsessed with
dogs. We're not cutting you off.
No, we are never not going to want to hear about how all this stuff is done.
Right. It's like people are tuning in to hear a podcast about the Muppets We got a Muppet performer talking about playing one. Yeah, no, we're leaving that in, of course.
Yes.
Come on. Ryan, you have 2 more very quick things. I understand.
Oh my God, he's so obsessive. Go for it.
Just things that I didn't want to forget. There were some cool Jacob and Robert Marley toys made by the aforementioned Palisades Toy Company. They're not the full-size action figures. They're just kind of smaller.
Mini Muppets, baby.
Is that what they're called? Mini Muppets? Yeah, but they're very cool. They look just like the characters in the movie. Maybe you can find them on eBay.
Are they plush or
no? They're little PVC, like the little 3-inch hard plastic action figures.
Yeah.
No articulation. Just
right. You just put them on a shelf and they look cool.
Have you had Dave Goals on your?
We have. We just recently posted that episode. Yeah, it was. Oh man, it was a great episode.
He's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
he was a delight to have on.
Yes,
as well.
And the other thing is that Muppet Wiki reminded me that Marley and Marley appeared as the bosses for the Muppet Christmas Carol stage in the 2000 video game Muppet Race Mania. So I guess you just had to race against Marley and Marley, like going around some sort of Dickensian London themed racetrack. I've played the game. It's been a very long time. I don't remember racing against Marley and Marley, but I was also pretty bad at that game. So
the name of the level was Marley and Marley, Avarice and Speed.
Oh, it should have been.
Jeez, excellent. You guys.
That's all I got.
Leslie's so over it. She's like,
no, I'm just so impressed. I was like, oh God. I mean, I'm just trying to think of anything else like we can obsess over in this, but no, I think we said
sure. Well, we can talk about it next week because you'll be back with us for another one.
Yay!
Yay!
And I think that just about brings this one to a close. So, listeners, in the next week to tide you over, you can always find toughpigs.com on the internet, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're all over the place. You can follow Ryan on Twitter at @MeRyanRowe. You can follow him on Letterboxd at @MoviesAreNeat. You can follow me on Letterboxd at @ZeppoMarxist.
What are these? What's Letterboxd? I don't even know.
Letterboxd is the website where you track every movie that you watch, and you can write reviews about movies, and that's all it is.
Cool.
It's fun.
It is.
Yeah, it's fun to do. And a lot of listeners have followed me. I'm sure you too, Ryan. And it's
actually been a good way to get more followers. It works.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down.
All right. Yeah. Letterboxd with no E. It's LETTERBOXD.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And your listeners,
awesome.
Thank you.
I hope so. You can become a supporter on Patreon if you feel so moved to do. You can email us with any comments, questions, or concerns at movingrightalong@toughpigs.com. Leslie, where can our listeners find you online or your work?
Ooh, this is really good. All right. Just so you know, if you do, I'm horrible at Facebook. I'm the worst Facebook friend, but I'm a really good friend. But Lolly Lard Pop is a very good Facebook friend. I post mostly for Lolly on Lolly Lard Pop Facebook. I also Lolly Lard Pop. I'm on Instagram as Lolly Lard Pop, but you can find some Muppet stuff there. I usually do Abby, my dog Newhart, is on a lot. Lolly's on a lot. I also post when I do a lot of upcoming events on that. So I do perform. I'm not doing as many live appearances like I would as through Cabaret. But then I'm also a new company with my comedy partner, my writing partner, Jamie Donmeyer, called Humor with a Heart. So if you go to humorwithaheart.com, we're under construction, but we will have an Instagram that's called Humor with a Heart. So that might, that keep coming soon, I guess, depending on when this airs.
That's exciting.
Or it might be
right.
up. So those are good. But Instagram right now I'm pretty good at. Ryan knows.
Yes. Everyone, if you're not following.
Ryan has been one of he's my hero and supporter and helped me with my news.
I don't know about that.
No, he's been awesome. And so, but yeah, I get so busy. I'm such a procrastinator. I'm always crafty.
There it is. All right. And Ryan is my hero too.
Oh,
yeah.
Listeners. You're both my hero.
It's true.
Thanks, Anthony. I've never been doing out of hero stuff.
Oh no, that's no. Ryan really is my hero, so it's fine.
Wow.
When we first met, I was a boy of 18 and he was a man of 22. And I looked up to him. It's all true.
I did tell you what comic books to read. That I can take credit for that.
What comic books did you tell him to read?
Mostly the Fantastic Four.
That's probably what I said to start with, yeah.
Yeah, it happened. No, you really were my mentor in those days. Like you must know that's true. Like we can talk about this
strange.
On the podcast.
Okay.
I think it's awesome.
A strange concept.
Yeah. I mean, it was like 20 plus years ago.
Oof.
Wow, we've been friends for a long time.
I know,
all
it's
right.
weird.
I think it's awesome.
I think so too.
Those are the best kind of friends where they know your history and their heart and they, help you, encourage you. Those are the best kind of friends to have that, help you collaborate with your spirit and things that you love to do. And, I think that anybody who ignites your joy and encourages to be more of that person you are inside is awesome. So that's why you're friends for so long.
It's true. And we will continue to be friends for at least one more episode of Moving Right Along. Hear it next week. Goodbye.
I was going to say doomed, but now that seems inappropriate.
Okay, girls, what do you want to do?
Well, how about
I tell you a story?
actually we'd rather...
Yeah, I'll tell you my favorite one.
Oh, please, Mrs. Torres, not the Three Bears.
Perfect. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I know that one by heart.
Well, what can we do? It's the only story she knows. She doesn't know it very well.
Oh, okay. So there's this girl who smells like a fireplace, and her name is Sydney, right? And she's so gorgeous. And she knocks on the door and looks inside, and there's a large pizza, a medium pizza, and a small pizza. Well, she just goes straight to the small pizza and inhales it. And then she goes up the stairs. At the top, there's an incredible beanstalk with a guy looking down going, oh. And she just jumps out the window and lands on a dog named Toto. And there's this old lady that tries to shove gingerbread in her face. Well, these 7 little men say, come with us, we'll take you over to this place. And then they go to this place where there's this troll, and he's standing there saying, if you can guess my name, I can give you a gerbil. And then straight ahead was this huge elephant. And on the back was an exotic lady saying, come to me, and telling me that I am the most beautiful in the land. But she didn't want to go there because on account of she had this huge spike coming out of her head. Hi. Oh, where are the girls? They were here when Sleeping Beauty ate the lobster.